It is midweek, World Cup done, school is out. Summer activities are in high gear and you have joined me, Theodore Henry, for another episode of Jamaica Magazine. Welcome. On this episode, we look at how strategic priority number 2, economic growth and job creation, is being implemented at the community level, and how the new Rocky Point market is benefiting community farmers and vendors. Coming up later, we trace the beats of the island's iconic sound in the story of reggae music. The pages start turning with the news.
Look inside the drum. Those are the Aedes aegypti larvae, the one that causes dengue fever. If all of these larvae mature to be adults, and if the female larva bites someone with the dengue fever, it will acquire the dengue virus. And if that mosquito bites you, you will get it.
Dengue fever?
Yes. Help prevent the spread of dengue.
Clean up your home and community.
Destroy mosquito breeding sites.
Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Prevent dengue fever. Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 16. The Ministry of Health is assuring the public that there is no indication of a local spread of the chikungunya virus, even as officials investigate one suspected case in Jamaica. 28 Caribbean and Latin American countries have reported cases of chikungunya, and on Tuesday, the Health Ministry confirmed that its heightened surveillance system had detected a suspected imported case in an individual who traveled from an affected country. After testing at a private laboratory in Jamaica, the ministry is now awaiting confirmation from a sample sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency. In the meantime, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kevin Harvey says the Health Ministry, which has been in preparation mode for more than 2 years, is heightening its response to ensure there's no local spread. There is no specific treatment or vaccine for the chikungunya virus, which is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito that also transmits dengue fever. Anyone who experiences any of the associated symptoms is asked to visit their doctor or the nearest health center immediately. Persons are also urged to protect themselves by destroying mosquito breeding sites in their environs and taking steps to avoid mosquito bites when traveling to and from countries with confirmed cases. The Ministry of Health says operations are back to normal at the Mandeville Hospital following what it calls a bizarre shooting death at the institution Tuesday. Portfolio Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson visited the hospital shortly after it was reported that a patient, 38-year-old Donovan Stewart, was shot and killed after allegedly attacking another patient with a surgical pin taken from his recovering fracture. A nurse who intervened was also allegedly kicked away, suffering minor bruises, and police on guard duty responded but reportedly resorted to deadly force after failing to subdue Mr. Stewart. The Independent Commission of Investigations INDECOM is investigating. In the meantime, Minister Ferguson has expressed sorrow and offered words of comfort to the staff and patients affected by the incident.
I know it is a sad day for the hospital. It is a sad day for all of us. I just want to be assured that whatever it takes to bring back normality to our staff and to those who are in need of counseling, that it is done.
Dr. Ferguson commended the hospital management and ministry officials who he said were quick to respond. He also applauded the Mandeville Ministers Fraternal and other professionals for delivering grief counseling to both staff and patients. The Police Services Commission PSC is expected to appoint a new Commissioner of Police by September. In a statement to Parliament Tuesday, National Security Minister Peter Bunting said the PSC would advertise the position this week and applications would be reviewed and shortlisted candidates interviewed in August. While making it clear that the PSC was in charge of the appointment, Minister Bunting also responded to queries on whether the new commissioner would come from overseas.
It would, to my mind, be some extraordinary circumstance why you would look to put a foreigner in such a sensitive position when their first loyalty would not be to your country.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Glenmore Hines has been acting as police commissioner since July 1 following Owen Ellington's decision to retire after completing his vacation leave. Minister Bunting reiterated that the commissioner was not forced from his job and said he was formally notified on June 30 of Mr. Ellington's decision to retire. Meanwhile, government is insisting that a decision by some international partners to suspend support to some areas of the security forces has not compromised the effectiveness of law enforcers. The National Security Minister says international partners were concerned about allegations of human rights violations by the security forces during the 2010 operations in West Kingston. The allegations, which were made in the Public Defender's report, compelled international partners to review their relationship with law enforcers in Jamaica.
Support to a few specific units has been suspended. It is our hope that once the upcoming Commission of Inquiry has concluded its work, that the findings and recommendations are acted upon as appropriate, that any residual concerns regarding the West Kingston operations will be put to rest.
Government is confident that Jamaica will pass the 5th IMF test for the quarter ending June 2014. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips told Parliament Tuesday that based on the government's assessment, all quantitative targets and structural benchmarks for the April to June quarter were met. A team from the International Monetary Fund will assess the country's performance in August. In the meantime, Minister Phillips has defended the Bank of Jamaica's decision to release foreign exchange into the market to stop the rapid slide of the Jamaican dollar. Now that Jamaica's current account deficit is improving and inflation is going down, he said there was no need for the Jamaican dollar to depreciate at a quick pace.
It is not the first time in recent months that the Bank of Jamaica has intervened. And the policy remains the same. As the governor has stated on more than one occasion, the Bank of Jamaica will intervene when the markets become disorderly.
And finally, members of both Houses of Parliament will pay special tribute to the late Sir Howard Cook next week. The former Governor-General, who died on Friday, July 11, was both a senator and a member of the House of Representatives during his long political career. On Tuesday, Leader of Government Business in the Lower House, Philip Paulwell, said there would be a special sitting in his honor starting at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, July 23.
And it should be noted that it will be a sitting of the Senate to which the members of this House will be invited. Sir Howard, having served last in the capacity as President of the Senate.
In the meantime, parliamentarians have extended their condolences to Lady Cook and other members of the family. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Government strategic priority number 2, economic growth and job creation, is being realized through the implementation of a number of economic and skills training programs at the Knowledge Community Center. Let's learn more now.
When Jamaicans benefit from the social investment in our people, it drives our economic growth. When Jamaica's economy grows, we become the masters of our destiny.
The Knowledge community in Bogwalk St. Catherine is one of those communities benefiting from government's investment in its people by way of a multi-purpose center.
As a government, we're working with you to give you the tools that will instill in you the confidence to succeed.
By building capacity in every Jamaican community, government is working to achieve strategic priority number 2, economic growth and job creation in the 2014-2015 fiscal year. And with the continued push for rural community development, the Multipurpose Center ties perfectly into plans to create areas where people live, do business, and create lasting memories with their families. The Knowledge Multipurpose Center is a program of the Inner City Basic Services Project. It was financed by the government in partnership with the World Bank and administered by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF.
Our aim is to develop this multipurpose center into a functional social enterprise that is financially autonomous and sustainable. Hence, this infrastructure was complemented by the formation of a management committee to manage the center. Capacity building and organizational strengthening intervention, including business plan writing and business development training. Social programs which will be pursued in this center will no doubt assist in improving the community's access to benefits such as educational activities, recreation, skills development, and training.
The $133.6 million investment is now serving 1,200 persons from 220 households in Knowledge and neighboring communities. At 500 square meters, the center consists of a main hall, commercial workshop spaces, computer room and a kitchen, as well as male and female bathrooms. On the outside, JSIF installed a biodigester sewage system and a parking space, as well as improved roads and drains.
We want to ensure that we create cottage industries that can allow for all of you, young people, to be able to get some employment creation, some income generation in these communities. Projects that will allow you to not only learn a skill, but to be able to earn something from that skill which you will learn.
That will develop a lasting legacy for the people if you put this center to proper use.
JSIF grew a very wonderful building, as you can see there. And we have a lot of plans for it in terms of sport, and we can promise you we are going to keep it nice.
Having put up $5.28 million towards the completion of the multipurpose center, the Knowledge Benevolent Society members are already putting the space to good use. In the first phase, 40 citizens, including unattached youth, have benefited from wealth creation and skills training initiatives.
Cushion making has taught me how to do stuff by myself, because right now I can basically just pick up a piece of material and just make a cushion.
Going after college, the semester coming, I'm positive that I'm ready based on what I've learned throughout being a part of this.
It has impacted my life greatly and empowered me to be a better citizen of my community and Extension Jamaica.
And there are plans for further training.
We are trying to get in heart to do some training, and we also have a kitchen around there, so we'll be doing our own like culinary arts. We can sell some of those stuff. They were also trained in cushion and sheet making and fabrication, so we'll try to continue those processes, and those are income generating projects.
The Knowledge Community Benevolent Society is determined to make its newly built community center a model for other communities to emulate.
With the team, we will make sure that this building is utilized for the purpose and intent that it is here for. We want the community of Knowledge to be an example. There are 12 communities that have benefited from this program.
we want to be the number one. And as a matter of fact, not only want to be, we will be the number one.
Community markets are important in strengthening the local economy by redirecting consumers' dollars to local growers and producers. This is one of the many ways that the community of Rocky Point will benefit from the newly constructed market.
Rocky Point, located in the Portland Bight Protected Area, is synonymous with fishing, a trade many in this rural South Coast community of Clarendon depend on for a livelihood. The government, through the Jamaica Social Investment Fund and the local authority, is engaging the residents in a process of transformation to spur business growth and promote sustainable development. They are building structures and institutions that can drive social and economic growth for the people as part of an overall plan for rural development. With a renewed fishing village, the opening of a new health center, road repairs under the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program, and rehabilitation of the community center, Rocky Point is a hub of rural development.
Rural development is something that I am dedicated to.
The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is on a quest to find and promote additional ways of driving local economic development. We want to empower our people, and we recognize that it must start from the bottom. While fishing is not new to these parts, we understand its value in the process and how it can create employment, reduce poverty, and eventually contribute to the national economic development.
It's putting people at the center of community development, where residents organize and take charge of realizing their goals. This is proving true in Rocky Point, which lately received a new market constructed on the grounds of the old one.
What comes out of this market will certainly cook a sweet, sweet pot.
And the vendors are happy.
All that you need in the kitchen, I have it. I am in the market, the new market at Rocky Point. And I'm feeling so proud of the market.
You have yam, banana, breadfruit, potato, dasheen, pumpkin.
This market is better than the first one. You know, we're more convenient, you know, laxable. You know, everything about it is all right. Yes, man, cool and nice. Cool for we was out in the sun, we were sick. And so, and when we come in here now, whether we're selling or not, we just relax. Cool, cool, cool.
The building was constructed from reinforced concrete with stalls for the fish vendors and a section with sinks and running water for housing the scrapers. It also has sanitary conveniences and a section for food stalls and haberdashery. The work carried out by JCIF at a cost of approximately $50 million, with the community covering $5 million and the rest in grant funding from the Caribbean Development Bank Basic Needs Trust Fund,
which aims to increase access and improve social infrastructure, build the capacity of communities and local organizations, improve the participation of citizens and community groups in decision-making. All of these elements have been the features of this Rocky Point Market project.
Several entities, including the Rocky Point Benevolent Society, the Rocky Point Fishing Association, the Political Directorate, the Clarendon Parish Council, the Health Department, and the National Solid Waste Management Authority, work together to ensure the proper facility for fish vending is in place. Markets like this are important places of commerce, and at this one, 320 persons will directly benefit, while another 4,200 are to benefit indirectly. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller handed over the new market to the community in April 2014. The fisherfolk have received training on the nurturing and protection of the fish stock, which will drive their returns in the market. As the residents at Rocky Point seek to secure the new possibilities for a thriving economic atmosphere, ongoing maintenance of the facility will be a key goal. The Rocky Point Benevolent Society has taken full control through a lease agreement of $55,000 monthly with the Clarendon Parish Council.
First, we have a subcommittee of 3 persons in place to make sure that the rules and regulations are maintained. This committee will have responsibilities for inspecting the building and the compound on a weekly basis to see if it has been cleaned properly, garbage was disposed of properly, no defacing of walls, and checking fixtures and the permit of fencing, and also overhauling our books.
A manager is also in place to take care of the day-to-day operations. The local authority is pushing this concept of community infrastructure being owned and managed by citizens and is encouraging more citizen parish council partnerships.
Democracy means nothing if the people are not involved in the decision-making process. And we believe that when our people are given a chance to manage their own affairs, it gives them a voice, a bigger sense of pride, and motivation to do greater things in life.
Do you have an idea to start your own business, to become an entrepreneur? Let's explore some of the first steps to take in transferring that idea into the real. Start by evaluating your interests. What do you know? What skills do you have that you can use to provide a service or a product to others? Investigate businesses that interest you and increase your competitive edge by filling a market gap. After, create a business plan. This will provide clarity, focus, and confidence. As you write down your goals, strategies, and action steps, your business becomes real. Assess your finances and assets. As an entrepreneur, you are likely to be the first and quite possibly the only investor. Identify how much money will be needed and develop a financial tracking system. Build a support network. That network does not have to comprise only professionals. The network will act as your sounding board, partners, allies, vendors, and your customers. If you believe in your business, others will too. Be service-oriented. The more people you serve, the more money you make. And finally, get the word out. Do not be afraid to say who you are and what you do with conviction and without apology. Embrace and use the most effective online tools, but don't underestimate the power of other methods such as word of mouth and the classic telephone.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
According to the National Export Strategy for Entertainment, approximately 6,000 to 12,000 persons are directly employed in the music industry. Despite its humble beginnings, Jamaica's reggae-fueled music industry supports a number of sectors, including agriculture, tourism, and transportation. In the next feature, we look at this dynamic force called reggae music, a crucial component for the country's economic growth.
If reggae can ever be edged to a set place, then 13 Brentford Road is its home. It was here at Studio One in 1968 that Rocksteady briefly went back 20 years, married the folk rhythms of Mento, and gave birth to reggae.
up to 8, 6, then reggae.
The guitar led the reggae music orchestra, and the bass maintained the melodic patterns in the background. It is interesting to note that even though the fusion would change the course of local music history forever, it was to be one of its most celebrated strokes of luck.
No, I didn't really want to give out this piece of information, but since we're at it, I won't be mean. Clement Dad brought a piece of machinery to the studio for about a year. It was sitting there, and no one knew exactly what to do with it. And so they hooked it up one day and decided to implement it. And they discovered it was a tape delay. And so they hooked it into the machine and they started doing it into the recording. So when they put the guitar sound through the tape delay, it comes back saying, the rest of studios hearing this recording out, they thought it was the guitar making that and just copied that, and that was the birth of reggae music.
Jackie Mitu invited Larry Marshall to try out on the new sound. The experiment yielded Nanny Goat and Baby Tell Me Why. But it was Toots and the Maytals' Do the Reggae that christened the music form forever. Reggae would deliver dance crowds from the sluggish rock-steady beat. The people needed a change in pace. Reggae upped the tempo. Reggae turned up the heat on some of the social and economic challenges that the people were facing. It premiered as the voice of the people. Reggae was a potent messenger for the Rastafari philosophy, which single-handedly cemented the music form as a cornerstone of Jamaican culture. Bob Marley was one of them who took to the music and the teachings. Marley had been around from the ska era. In 1961, he and a couple of his brethren, Peter Tosh and Bunny Livingston, formed the Rude Boys, which later became known as the Wailers. The teachings were often put to music in either Sir Coxson's Studio One or Duke Reid's Treasure Isle recording studios. The recording sessions overflowed with free-spiritedness and an abundance of talent. Hits were made by ear.
Studio One happens to be the station.
Studio One is widely regarded as the mecca of reggae music.
Studio One is called the University of Reggae Music. And as an artist, if you didn't work your way through that university, you would not be a complete artist.
This is the Motown of the Caribbean. Everything started right here, so, so right now you have to give a lot of respect to Mr. Dodd because he had a very good ear for music.
The local music industry learned the rudiments of music distribution as early as the 1940s, when English fans showed a willingness to buy its R&B covers. When American rhythm and blues were hard to come by, sound system owners Duke Reid and Sir Coxsone Dodd got artists like Stanley Motto to make their own. With the advent of a global village through the economic, social, and political phenomenon called globalization, it is now beyond one's mental facets, where this world-shaking cultural mystique known to humanity as simply reggae will take Jamaica, land we love. Whithersoever it goes, we go.
What is your favorite reggae song, artist, or band? Share the answer with me by visiting our Facebook page or sending us a tweet at JIS News. Keep watching through our website. I am Theodore Henry. On behalf of the hardworking team here at the JIS, thanks for watching. It was Steve Jobs that said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.